can hear you. Yes.
I think that everyone can hear you too. So just as introduced you, so we'll start right now.
Okay.
Everyone can hear you. Great.
Oh, okay. Are we going to need translation, or am I okay?
No, just speak in English. Everyone will understand.
Okay. Well, thank you, Roy, and just want to make sure everybody can hear me okay. This is Jeff Rouberti calling in from Florida, and I want to thank Roy for inviting me to come on the call. It's a pleasure and an honor to be able to speak with all of you here tonight in Israel. As Roy just showed you some pictures from our conference in Israel, or in Nice, that we just had. It was a very exciting convention. Lots of enthusiasm, lots of passion, lots of new people doing really well with the Juice Plus company, and I really do believe the best is yet to come. Roy, I'd like to start off with sharing my story, if I could, and just kind of tell everybody where I came from and some of the lessons and the blessings and the journey that I've gone through. And then I'd like to also talk about why I feel you have found the right home, and why I feel the best is yet to come, and why it's your turn now. So just a little bit about my story. I started over 26 years ago. I was in my early 20s. I was a broke waiter. I was struggling financially and was looking for an opportunity, and was looking for some things to change in my life. I was a very hard worker, Roy, no matter what I did, whether it was waiting tables or working construction or mowing lawns or cleaning pools. I had a very good work ethic, but never the right vehicle to be able to grow and build a business and help other people. So when I found this product and this opportunity, I didn't take it for granted. Matter of fact, the first conference I drove home from, Roy, in my car, I remember getting in the car and I was cheering and I was crying tears of joy, and I thanked God for answering my prayers. That this was my chance. This was a chance for somebody that didn't have a lot of background or money or education, but had a really good work ethic and a lot of desire and a willingness to work, and very teachable, where you could go out and build a business and be able to earn what you're worth. So I remember coming home and I tore up the list of excuses, how everybody has those excuses in life, and I decided that, for things to change, I've got to change, and for things to get better, I've got to get better. And I realized that you can have more in life if you become more in life, and not to see things the way they are, but to see things the way they can become. So I went to work on myself, Roy, more than the products, more than the marketing plan. Development, cleverly disguised as a business. So, I had to get my thinking straight. And I studied Jim Rohn, and I studied Tony Robbins, and I studied Zig Ziglar, and I really got myself in a peak resourceful state. And, you've got to become an attractive person to attract other people. You've got to inspire yourself first before you can inspire other people. So with that, I went out there and I focused on putting other people's needs ahead of my own, number one. Number two, to always add value to other people's lives. And number three, to create these raving fan relationships. Long-term relationships equal long-term success. So I started here in Florida, started building my business, sharing the product, sharing the opportunity, and then expanded throughout the entire United States, and then into Canada, and then all throughout Europe, and have built a business today that has, paid me millions and millions of dollars in commissions and bonuses. And I tell people, Roy, people come into this business really for two reasons: out of desperation or inspiration. They're either enlightened or they're frightened, a little bit of both. And I was desperate. I was looking for some things to change in my life financially. Today, now that I've made my fortune, I'm just as passionate about the product and the opportunity today more than ever, but it's truly out of inspiration, to pay it forward, to help someone else. Somebody on this call tonight, they're just starting their Juice Plus business, their virtual franchise. And I'll never forget, Roy, where I came from. I'll never forget when I filled out that application, somebody cared enough about me to share this wonderful gift of health and prosperity. And I remember how much it meant to me. So this call tonight, and the reason I'm still here today is because it's somebody on this call, it's your grand opening, it's your start, it's your launch of your business and your dreams and aspirations to have something and to be able to grow and serve and help so many people. So I decided a long time ago, Roy, instead of retiring from my business, to retire into my business and to never forget where you came from. And life's not about me, life's about we. And there's really two parts to the business, Roy. The first part is what I call the science of achievement, where you achieve and you build and you grow and you build your business. But the second part to the business is what I call the art of fulfillment. And that's where you're rich emotionally, spiritually, where you're rich in relationships, where you have a business that's full of meaning and purpose and fulfillment. I always tell people, success without fulfillment is failure. I know people that do really well in life and make a lot of money, but they're miserable inside. And they don't have all the relationships and all the love and connection and a place where they can grow and contribute and help other people. So if you have a business that you really love what you do, and I love what I do, and you get to add value to people's lives, that's very rewarding beyond just the business. Like I said, you're wealthy emotionally, spiritually. You have something that you feel so good about that you're part of. You're part of a mission-driven business. It's very cause-oriented. It's making a difference. It's part of a movement. It's part of something so much bigger than yourself. And, I think back, Roy, and I shared this story in Nice at the conference, and I think back when my father, everybody on the call can relate to this story if you've lost somebody that you love from stroke or cancer or heart disease. And I think back of losing my own father at the age of 46 with a massive heart attack and no second chance. And I remember getting that call at 4 o'clock in the morning, and it was the worst day of my life because I just felt so hopeless. That was it. It was over. And, I took the worst day of my life, Roy, and I turned it into the best day of my life because of what it meant to me. Meaning. Change the meaning, change your life. And I said, Jeff, it's not the event, it's the meaning you give it. It's not what happens in life, it's what you do with what happens in life. Maybe life is not happening to me, maybe life is happening for me. And I took that and that deepest pain, Roy, and I said, I'm going to grow from this. I'm going to become more of a person from this experience, and I'm going to use this to serve and help someone else. And I took the worst day and turned it into the best day because of what I did from what happened from that experience. And that's why I'm so passionate about Juice Plus. That's why I'm so passionate about an opportunity for people can have prosperity, because I saw my own father struggling and juggling and trying to pay the bills and all the stress and working for someone else, and how much he would have loved to have had a business like this. So today, Roy, I would give it all back if I could have got my own father on Juice Plus, because it just might have saved his life. Because let's face it, when people get on Juice Plus, it's like a stepping stone in the right direction. The awareness, the education, the importance of bridging that nutritional gap of what we should eat and what we do eat every day when it comes to fruits and vegetables. People notice that they start eating more fruits and vegetables. All these things start to happen. It creates a snowball process. And I truly believe if I'd have got my own father on Juice Plus, it just might have saved his life. So that is one of my driving reasons today, is when you know what you know about Juice Plus, it's not an opportunity, it's a responsibility. How could you not share this with someone? the research, the studies, the science behind Juice Plus, what it does to the body when you take this product, how it strengthens your immune system, how it helps to prevent and fight off all these different diseases and ailments. It's, it's a product, I tell people, Juice Plus is not something that's good timing, it's timeless. It's foundational, fruits and vegetables, whole food nutrition. So today, it's out of inspiration. I remember my why when I started, Roy, and my why back then was, I didn't come from a wealthy family, and I was the oldest of 3 boys. And, my why back then was I remember sitting in the back of my mother's car as a kid. And it wasn't the nicest car. It was rusty, and it was beat up, and she was a very proud woman, but I could tell deep down inside it hurt. There was pain there. And I remember sitting in the back seat as a boy on my mom's car, and I used to say, if someday, if I could, I would love to help my mother and father. Or someday, if I was in the position, I'd love to help my grandparents. Or I'd like to do this for my favorite charity. And I'm sure all of you on this call tonight have said to yourself before, if I could, I would. So my why when I got started in the business, what gave me that emotional juice, which kept me up late at night, got me up early in the morning, was the why that the first car that I bought was not for myself. It was for my mother. And I remember working in the beginning, just putting in 10 hours worth of work for 1 hour worth of pay and reinvesting back into my business. And I realized that this wasn't a get-rich-quick program. I had to put in the time and be consistent and focus on sharing a product and an opportunity. And I went to work year after year, and I finally got to a position where I was in the position to pay cash for this car for my mom, the car of her dreams. And without her knowing, I went out and purchased this car and paid cash for it. Got her the insurance paid, got the gas card paid for, gave her the card for the gas, had it up at her home on Christmas morning for, out inside of her home, and I had the big red bow on the hood, and the morning dew was on the car, and the sun was coming up, the sunrise, and it was shining on this car, and it was so beautiful. And without my mom knowing, I had that car outside her home, and she walked out to the door, and she saw the car. I handed her the keys. I told her how much I loved her, and I saw these tears of joy running down my mother's face. And I sat there and I thought I was the one that was giving, I was the one that was receiving. And I tell you that story because if you think about it, that one little bottle of Juice Plus, that you go out and share with somebody could equal you getting your mother a car or for whatever it is for you. So that was my driving why in the beginning, was to be able to do what I used to always say to myself, if I could, I would. My why today is inspiration, paying it forward, helping as many people. I love our company's mission statement, to inspire healthy living around the world. Jay's original mission statement was to build a stable and lasting company. Stable and lasting is the key words that can help as many people realize their dreams as possible. And I remember, when I first met Jay Martin, the president and founder of our company, over 40 years now, a $10 billion company in worldwide sales. And, there's so much negative, all of you have heard something negative about network marketing or multi-level marketing. And, for a good reason, because there's so many bad companies out there. Companies that are, about making fast money, and there's no real product or service being sold to the end consumer, and it's based on hype. In our business, it's so different. 90% of the sales go to end consumers, just customers that buy the product and it stands on its own. We're like the example in the industry of what a true direct sales company should look like. And, when I met Jay and I met Dan Holtzman, a lot of you got to meet Dan and Nice, I realized that, Jeff, you have found a home, something that's safe, something that's secure, something that if you put your heart and soul into this, the company won't let you down. The product won't let you down. The opportunity won't let you down. The only variable is the you part. And so I felt very blessed when I found this company and something that's stable. And here I am, an example, Roy, of what's possible in this business. This January will be my 27th year with one company. And there's not too many distributors in our industry that can say that. So it's something that's solid. So what I'm trying to tell you is you have found the home. You have found the right choice. Something that you can believe in and know that the company's got your back, that they will be here and not let you down. Why I feel the best is yet to come, and why I feel that it's your turn now. Plus has been out there now for over 20 years, and just dozens and dozens of studies and research and healthcare professionals behind it. Hundreds of thousands of children that have been on the Children's Health Study that get Juice Plus for free if their parents buy the product, and just so many results and stories that people have had on Juice Plus all over the world. But the next 20 years, you think the last 20 years have been something? Wait till you see what's coming in the future. And why I believe that the best is yet to come is, first of all, the awareness. If you think about it, if you go into your common sense corner and you ask yourself, okay, 20 years ago, was the awareness on fruits and vegetables stronger then, or is it stronger today? Today. Is it stronger today even than it was a year ago? So the product is a no-brainer. People know that fruits and vegetables is a good thing. People know that if they want to take self-responsibility for their health, that getting more fruits and vegetables into their bloodstream, into their body every day, is a good thing. So that is something that is the product, and the awareness and the timing could not be better. And people today are starting to realize that they should take self-responsibility. I don't know about your country over there, but I know here in the United States, we've got a real challenge with our healthcare system. It's sickness care. People are getting sicker than ever. There's more drugs, there's more surgery, and people are sick of it, and they're realizing that they need to take self-care, take self-responsibility for their health. So our product is a no-brainer. Our opportunity, and with all the challenges with the economy and the job market, more and more people today are saying, you know what, Jeff, maybe I should look at taking self-responsibility for my own financial future. Maybe a plan B does make sense, where I could start my own home-based part-time business and start sharing a product that I believe in and helping other people become successful and building a team and building some residual income and the quality of life that most people only dream of for myself and my family. And more people are joining today and realizing that this business is an opportunity. If you go to work for the next 3 to 5 years, that you can compress an entire lifetime worth of work in what you do the next 3 to 5 years. So it's just so rewarding to have something like this, and I do believe that the best is yet to come, and it is your turn now. I will share with you this. Our business is so rich in relationships. When you come to one of our conventions, you see a room full of people that, in business, you just don't know if this exists outside in the real business world, because everybody there is trying to help other people. People that are just in it for themselves and they're just all about the money, they don't fit into the Juice Plus family. They're not part of the company with a heart. They don't make it here, because our business is about relationships. Our business is about helping other people. Our business is about love and connection, and people at the top trying to help the people at the bottom get to the top. So you'll see that when you come to one of our conventions. You'll see why it's called the Juice Plus family, the company with a heart. You'll see a room where people are growing. You're the happiest in life when you're growing. There's progress in your life. So there's tremendous personal growth. I remember when Jim Rohn shared with me, he said, Jeff, it's not the money, it's not the position, it's who you become in the process. So personal growth, the contribution side, to be able to contribute, make a difference, and put other people's needs ahead of your own in life. And it's just so rich and emotional and spiritual revenue. So, Roy, that's just a couple things I wanted to share. I guess the last thing I could share with you would be this. Are you still there, Roy? Can you still hear me? Hello, Roy?
Yeah, we hear you perfectly. Yeah.
Okay. Can I go for another 5 or 10 minutes?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Okay. I want to share with you guys one last story, and then kind of give you a call to action and some marching orders. Last year, Roy, was the biggest the most challenging year of my life in 2012. In 2012, June of 2012, I ended up getting a bacteria in my blood through a diving, getting cut up on some coral reef. And a bacteria got in my blood, and I ended up with what they call toxic shock syndrome, where your body goes septic, all your vital organs shut down. And I found myself, Roy, last year in the hospital, where I was in the hospital and I was in ICU, and I was fighting for my life. Most people don't survive this. And the doctors had me down to under a 10-15% survival rate. And, you know, I had heard this thing, you know, the Juice Plus family, the company with a heart, but I didn't really realize what that meant until I was sick and I was in that position. The amount of love and prayers and support that I received from my Juice Plus family from around the world, I really do believe played a huge role in saving my life. The Juice Plus product, being on it for over 20 years and having a strong immune system, having a very strong constitution, the doctors called me the miracle man. They couldn't believe it, that I believed that the Juice Plus product saved my life. So there was some things there that I really grew a lot last year from this experience, because, you know, when God comes down and gives you a second chance in life, you don't take that lightly. And you get the lessons, you get the blessings, you get the growth from it. And I realized that, Jeff, don't ever take it for granted. When you lose your head, you don't realize how important something is until you don't have it. And not having your health and being in that situation was a wake-up call. It was very humbling. And, you know, I realized just how important your health is, and to never take that for granted. And, you know, and being on the product and having the Juice Plus family, I really do believe saved my life and pulled me through it. And for me, it helped me also get my priorities in life in line. Number one was my spiritual life, my relationship. And number two was, you know, your family life, putting your spiritual life and your family life in order. And then my business life. I was always such an achiever and focused on business that was a wake-up call to really help me get those priorities in line in life. And the other thing I'll share with you is I had missed a conference. I had missed one of our conventions for over 25, 26 years. And they had the Dallas conference going on in that year, and they had the one over in Rome, over in Europe. And I couldn't fly. The doctors wouldn't let me travel. And I remember sitting in my office, Roy, and I was just crying. I felt like somebody had stuck a knife in my heart. And I felt like I was letting people down, not being there for them as they were walking the stage as new marketing directors. And you know, and I had such negative emotions of pain and anger and frustration and sorrow and I started to realize, you know, Jeff, change the meaning, change your life. What else could this mean? How can you learn from this? How can you grow from this? What spiritual lessons? I started asking some better quality questions and got some better quality answers, and I went to a total place of love, gratitude, and appreciation, and I realized I'll never take this business for granted again. It's just not another conference. And I was missing those relationships and all that love and connection and being able to grow and serve in that environment. And I got the lesson. And so I'm never going to let my comfort get in the way of my calling. You know, this is not an opportunity. It's a responsibility to pay this forward. So just a couple lessons that I got last year. And a lot of people saw me in Orlando or saw me in Nice. They said, wow, Jeff, you seem so different. And I said, you know what, I'm the happiest I've ever been in my life. And I've grown the most I've ever grown in my life this past year. So my message to you guys is I do believe the best is yet to come. I do believe that it is your turn now. And what I would say as far as a call to action and some marching orders and what to do next is you need to get off this call tonight. You need to make a decision. You know, you need to find out, what do you really want? You know, what is that results focus? What do you want from this business? What do you want in life? But more importantly, why do you want it? You know, if there's one thing to decide what you want and have that desire and that want to, it's another reason that the emotional juice, the real power comes, the why part. You know, purpose-driven, results-focused, purpose-driven, and then you put together your massive action plan. You know, you make a decision, you commit, and then you have total resolve, and you put together that action plan. So you've got about 60 days between now and New Year's, and the last 2 months of the year, November and December, are the most important months that you go out there consistent. You lead by example. You're the best distributor in your organization. You share this product and this opportunity on a massive level, sharing and caring and building those relationships, because what happens to go into 2014, you want to have the momentum. And when we hit New Year's resolutions 2014 and people say, okay, what are my New Year's resolutions? Well, usually in the top 5, it has to do something with health, which we have an answer with the Juice Plus, and they're usually something to do with wealth, where people want to do better financially, and we have an answer for that as well with our Juice Plus opportunity. So, and then you parlay that into New Year, the first quarter, January, February, March, and then you show up at the big conferences we have over in Europe, whether there's one in Germany, one in the UK, or one down in Italy, and you rally for those big conferences in March. You bring your leaders over, and they see it and feel it and experience it. It's sometimes not what people say. People will forget what you say, but they'll never forget the way you make them feel. And people get that feeling, they get that vision, they're moved emotionally when they come to one of our conventions and see what's going on and what's taking place. And you could set yourself up financially for one of the best years of your life going into 2014 and beyond over the next 3 to 5 years. I really do believe you can compress an entire lifetime worth of work in what you do in the next 3 to 5 years. So, Roy, I want to thank you so much for having me on the call tonight. It was a pleasure. It was an honor. I want to tell you guys how much I appreciate all of you, how much I love all of you, and welcome to the Juice Plus family. You have found a home. You are at the right place at the right time with the right company, and this is something that you know that if you go out and build it, that you can count on this company. They do have your back, and you have found a home. So, Roy, I'll turn it back over to you, and thank you.
Thank you very much.